So I just completed fall year 1. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about this month. Yes, I was busy this month. Yes, I did a lot. Did I achieve the goals that I was trying to this month? That answer would be no. I didn't achieve my goals for this month, and I'm going to break down the goals that I did and didn't achieve, what I did this month, and I'm going to break down some of those numbers to share. Now that I have at least 3 data points for a few different items, that means I can start doing stuff with that data, and that's what this video is hopefully going to do. But before I break down the numbers, however, let me talk about what I did for the month of fall, because, like I said, it was pretty busy. To begin, on the 15th of fall, I managed to unlock the greenhouse, which does make this the fastest that I've been able to unlock the greenhouse. That was cool. That does also mean that I was able to complete the 3rd community center bundle, making me 50% of the way done with the community center. With the donations I have still made, 4 and 5 are close to being done, but like most Stardew playthroughs, the friendship bundle is the one most likely to be finished last. Without getting lucky at the traveling cart, since I don't opt for the guaranteed year 1 completion, this is normal. I'm also not going the Joja route, so my only option is to just wait and see if I get blessed by the RNG gods if I want the center done sooner than summer year 2. In me unlocking the greenhouse this early, I filled the greenhouse with fruit trees to help assist in making friends with the villagers easier. I really want to get to 5 stars with some of the villagers. I'm just really bad at remembering to talk to them unless it's a Friday. So while my social status isn't as high as I would have liked it to be with the villagers, I'm very well on my way to making this just not an issue anymore. And then similarly related, I was not able to make my goal of 1 million gold. Since I have my greenhouse now, however, I have it set up with sweet gemberries that I forgot about, starfruit, as well as the start of my ancient fruit empire. The ancient fruit take time to grow. Each plant individually takes a month. So my plan is, while I'm growing the ancient fruits, to use the other part of the greenhouse to grow starfruit to help jumpstart my wine empire. So like I said, I wasn't able to earn 1 million gold. However, I was able to end the season with a total earnings of 546,966 gold. That means, over the month of fall, I was able to earn 310,560 gold. Which, if you watched my last video, that means we ended the month with about a 166% increase to the amount of money made, and this comes out to a daily gold return, or a DGR, of about 11,091 gold. I use the DGR to show side by side each month how much I am earning per day to help show how much the processes are changing each month. Right now, it's early in the game. There's a lot happening. This number is going to continue to go up very noticeably for probably 2 or 3 more months come spring and summer. Winter is going to be very interesting to see, and when I get my data point for winter, I'm going to put them all on a graph to show the patterns and discuss a little more stuff then. Right now, I just can't make any assumptions about winter. Another goal I did not achieve is my skills goal. I wanted to reach level 10 in all of the skills by the end of this month, and I wasn't able to. For 2 skills. You see, for 3 skills, it actually wasn't that difficult to reach level 10. I knew farming was going to be one of, if not the easiest skill to get to level 10. And farming did, in fact, reach level 10. So did my mining skill. A lot of the times when I'm in the mine, I'm floor resetting for resources because it's fast, easy for me to do, and I get a lot of resources quickly when I'm doing that. Because of the floor resetting and a few worthwhile trips to Skull Cavern, I was able to get to level 10 mining no issue. Fishing was also really easy to get to level 10, especially when it's really easy to fish up a lot of perfect catches. The 2 skills I wasn't able to get to level 10 were combat and foraging. I just have to spend a little more time with both of them. By the end of the month, I was going to the mines, not for mining, but floor resetting for combat experience. Both of these 2 are just a grind at this point to get to level 10. And speaking of fishing level 10, I finally get to answer myself the question, what is required to get to level 10 fishing. So to start, I reached level 10 fishing on the 12th of fall. This is the fastest I personally have ever gotten to level 10 fishing. In order for me to reach level 10, I had to fish up a total of 373 fish, plus an additional 101 algae, 25 seaweed, and 32 jellies. Since I have these numbers, I could theoretically figure out how much trash I fished up out of the water, but I don't want to, so I didn't. Seeing that it took a little over 525 pulls on the fishing rod to get to level 10 is interesting, though. I've not been able to find any number out there that points to how many casts it takes to get to level 10 fishing. So this 525 number could be an interesting point for other people who are also interested in learning this info as well. By the end of the season, I had fished up a total of 481 fish, making the amount of fish that I caught for the month 214. I had also caught 7 jellies and 76 algae and seaweed, which I have shortened to consumable for the foreseeable future. That means, over the course of the month, jellies made up about 2.4% of what I caught, consumables made about 25.6%, and fish made up about 72% of what I caught. This month is a little bit different from what I saw last month and the month before. I think a big thing that I can contribute to this would be me fishing in the mines. One thing that I happened to notice was that I was fishing up both green and white algae at the same rate and at a much higher frequency than I was in other places. To me, this indicates one of two things. The first is that the encounter table for the mines could be a little bit different than it is on the outside. If that's the case, then that just means I would have to either weigh the averages a little bit more based on where I'm fishing, or I would likely have to include white algae with the fish portion of my data, as opposed to having it included with my consumables. The other thing this could indicate is a potential outlier month. Games like this use calculated randomness to generate things like what you fish up based on where you are fishing. There's always a scenario to consider that this month I was just given a bad deal of the cards. Now, it is too soon to draw any possible conclusions from this right now. Everything that I just commented on is just part of the process. I am observing what's going on right now, and I'm giving notes on the data that I am collecting. Hard number data, the stuff I'm collecting, by the way, is called quantitative data. Data involving words, things like colors or animals, for example, are called qualitative data. But this quantitative data that I'm collecting, I will be able to use really soon to start tracking patterns. I could do stuff like showcase the standard deviation and all sorts of stuff like that. But in general, I would prefer to start doing that year 2, just so that way I have a tiny bit more data. I wanted to include it in this video, but it was hard to make any meaningful conclusions from that, so I preferred that I didn't. To wrap up my fall, I ended the month with 41 out of 53 total minerals donated to the museum, for a completion rate of 77%. I also ended with 21 out of 42 artifacts donated, for a total completion of 50%. That means I ended fall with a museum completion of 65%. I also managed to consume 3 of the 7 star drops, missing out on the sweet gemberry one, but those are growing in my greenhouse, so I will get it over winter. The farthest I managed to get into Skull Cavern was floor level 60, and what can I say, but it was a very productive and bountiful trip. And finally, I ended the month with a deluxe coop and a deluxe barn in the process of being built, housing me a total of 15 animals. My plans for winter aren't actually really focused on anything. I just really want to be able to put an effort in planning my farm during winter to make it look nice. The map has a very interesting plot of land that I want to dedicate to farming, and I also plan on focusing mostly on growing my wine empire from my greenhouse. I have been passively making blueberry and cranberry wine as I grow my keg collection, and wait for the starfruit to grow. So I should be able to keep the money flowing nicely from that routine as I rededicate a lot of my main farm to other things. My last goal is maxing out my skills. I only have 2 skills left to finish. And I will be going to the mines, and I will be chopping down trees. For both of these, it's just a matter of time. And that concludes part 3 of my Stardew Valley perfection journey. If any of this is interesting to you, and I'm sure something had to be if you made it this far, please click the like and also click that subscribe button if you want to see the next part of this. Till then, stay safe and have fun farming.